Welcome back to Gotham Trends. Today we're going to do a deep dive into this thing called the Stargate Initiative. It's ambitious to say the least. We're talking like $500 billion, all going towards building up America's AI infrastructure.
Yeah, it's a huge GE undertaking. I mean, we're not just
Oh.
talking about, faster computers and stuff. This is about completely changing how we do healthcare, national security, even just like global networks.
Yeah, and leading the charge, we've got some pretty big names in tech. Larry Ellison of Oracle, Sam Altman from OpenAI, and SoftBank's Masayoshi Son. Each of them has like their own vision for how AI is going to shape the future.
Right, and it's interesting how they all approach it from such different angles. Ellison, for example, he's totally convinced that AI can like revolutionize stuff like disease diagnosis and education, make them super efficient and totally data-driven.
Okay, so like imagine AI tailoring, like your learning experience,
Yeah.
or like predicting security threats before they even happen. That sounds incredible. But I mean, isn't there a downside to like relying on AI so much? I mean, what about all the data collection? Who controls all that information? How do we know it won't be used against us?
Oh, you've hit on like the biggest concern with all of this. Privacy. If AI is constantly analyzing our health records, on activity, and who knows what else, well, we need to be super careful. Ellison's vision definitely raises some red flags about, the balance between progress and individual freedom.
Yeah, could this lead to like corporations or governments having way too much power over our lives?
It's a real possibility, and one we need to think seriously about.
And it's not just Ellison we need to consider. I mean, Sam Altman, the ethical AI guy from OpenAI, he's also part of this. Isn't that kind of contradictory?
Yeah, on the surface, it does seem that way. Altman's been very vocal about, preventing algorithmic bias, making sure AI benefits everyone, not just a select few. But here he is involved in a project that could concentrate a ton of power in the hands of a few.
So how do we reconcile these two seemingly opposing views?
Well, a key part of Altman's vision is this concept of artificial general intelligence, or AGI for short. Basically, where AI surpasses human capabilities and becomes super intelligent.
AGI, that sounds like something out of science fiction.
Right.
Could an AI that's smart actually solve global problems like climate change? Or is there a risk it could like spiral out of control and, make decisions we don't agree with?
Oh, are the million-dollar questions? AGI could unlock solutions to some of humanity's biggest challenges, but it also raises the possibility of unintended consequences that we might not be able to control.
Okay, now I'm starting to get a little nervous. It's like we're on the verge of something incredible,
Yeah.
but also potentially really dangerous.
Yeah, it's a real tightrope walk. And then you add Masayoshi Son's perspective to the mix, and it gets even more complex.
Right, Sun's all about that global interconnectedness powered by AI. So like a worldwide AI network that links up everything. Our devices, infrastructure, self-driving cars. I can see the self-driving cars communicating to avoid accidents. And supply chains adjusting to shortages instantly. It sounds amazing,
Yeah.
but I have a feeling you're going to tell me there's a catch.
Haha, you're catching on. Yeah, the potential benefits are huge, but that level of interconnectedness could also make us incredibly vulnerable.
Vulnerable to what?
Cyber attacks, for one. Imagine if some bad actor hijacked this global AI network, or if it just crashed because of some glitch.
That's terrifying.
And we can't forget about the possibility of authoritarian regimes using this technology for surveillance and control on a massive scale.
Or it'd be like a whole new level of power.
And then there's the impact on healthcare, which Stargate wants to revolutionize, particularly in the area of mRNA vaccine development.
So like AI tailoring vaccines to specific populations. Maybe even preventing pandemics before they start. That would be incredible. But that would require access to like our most sensitive health data. Who would control that? How could we be sure it's protected and not used against us by like insurance companies or employers?
All valid questions. And to make things even more complicated, you have figures like Bill Gates involved, who's a huge proponent of mRNA technology.
Right, his involvement adds another layer to the whole discussion. Is he a visionary philanthropist using his wealth to solve global health problems? Or is there a risk of his personal interests clashing with the public good?
It's something we definitely need to think carefully about. This whole Stargate initiative is like a Pandora's box, full of both promise and potential danger. And to really understand it, we need to stay informed, critical, and engaged in the conversation.
Absolutely. We need to be asking the tough questions and demanding answers. This is too important to just sit back and watch unfold.
Couldn't agree more. Yeah, it really feels like we're at this like crossroads with this tech, I mean. On one hand, you've got the potential to like solve some of humanity's biggest problems. But on the other hand, We could be creating a whole bunch of new ones that might be even harder to fix.
It's like this constant back and forth between like the amazing things AI could do and the risks that come with it. So like,
Right.
where do we go from here?
That's the big question, isn't it? And there's no easy answer. But I think the most important thing is that we keep having these conversations, keep raising these concerns and demand transparency from the people who are actually shaping this technology.
Right? We can't just let a few billionaires decide the future of AI. We all need to be involved in making sure it's used for good. But how do we actually do that? I mean, it all feels so big and complicated.
It is complicated, but that doesn't mean we're powerless. We can start by educating ourselves about AI, understanding what it can and can't do, and we need to hold the companies developing this tech accountable, demand transparency from them.
What about the government? Shouldn't they be stepping in to regulate AI and make sure it's being developed responsibly?
Absolutely. We need strong regulations to protect our privacy, prevent algorithmic bias, and make sure AI is being used ethically. But regulations alone aren't enough. We need a wider societal conversation about what role we want AI to play in our lives.
You know, it's funny, we talk about AI like it's this futuristic thing that's still years away, but it's already here. It's in our phones, our cars, our homes. It's already making decisions that affect us every day.
Exactly. And that's why it's so important to have this conversation now. We need to be shaping the future of AI, not just reacting to it.
So if we were to like sum up the key takeaways from this deep dive into the Stargate initiative, what would they be?
Well, first off, AI has the potential to be incredibly transformative. It could change everything, healthcare, national security, even the very fabric of our society. But with that potential comes a whole set of ethical and societal risks that we can't ignore.
Right, we're talking about potential violations of privacy, job losses, power concentrated in the hands of a few, and even the possibility of AI surpassing human control.
Exactly. And these aren't just hypothetical risks. They're real concerns that we need to address now. We need to remember that technology isn't neutral. It reflects the values and biases of the people who create it. So it's crucial to have diverse voices involved in developing AI and make sure it benefits everyone, not just a select few.
It feels like we're standing at the edge of something brand new, something exciting and full of potential, but also a little scary.
And that's a good thing. A little healthy skepticism is exactly what we need right now. We can't just be blindly optimistic about AI. We need to think critically, ask tough questions, and demand answers.
So for our listeners who are just tuning in, what's like the one thing they should take away from all of this?
Stay informed and stay engaged. The future of AI isn't set in stone. It's being shaped right now. And we all have a role to play in making sure it's a future we can be proud of.
I couldn't agree more. This isn't just a conversation for tech experts or politicians. This is a conversation for everyone. Because AI is going to affect all of our lives in a big way.
Which brings us to the big question. Can we have the benefits of AI without sacrificing our values? Can we have progress without peril?
There's no easy answer, but it's a question we need to keep asking ourselves and each other.
And what's so interesting is that the Stargate initiative is already sparking this global discussion. You see people from all walks of life weighing in on this technology, scientists, engineers, philosophers, even artists.
It's like we're all holding our breath, waiting to see what happens next. It's a time of uncertainty, but also a time of incredible possibility.
And that's what makes it so fascinating. We're living through a truly historic moment. The decisions we make today will shape the development of AI for generations to come. It's our responsibility to make sure it's a future that benefits all of humanity.
It really is. This whole deep dive into Stargate's been pretty eye-opening. It's clear that we're like right on the edge of this huge technological revolution, but it comes with a lot of responsibility.
Yeah, totally agree. And it's a responsibility that falls on all of us, not just, the tech companies or the people making the laws. We all need to be informed and engaged. We need to speak up about the kind of future we want to build with AI.
So, like for our listeners out there, what can they actually do to make a difference? I mean, it feels kind of overwhelming to even know where to start.
Well, I think awareness is the first step. Talk to your friends and family about this stuff. Share articles or anything interesting you find. Maybe even go to local events or workshops about AI. The more people understand what's going on, the better we'll be able to shape how it all unfolds.
Knowledge is power.
Yeah.
The more we know about AI, the less likely we are to be caught off guard by, the potential downside. We got to be proactive.
Exactly. And don't underestimate how much your voice matters. You can contact your elected officials. Let them know that these issues are important to you, that you want to see AI developed responsibly. You can also support organizations that are working to promote ethical AI. and hold these companies accountable.
Yeah, we can all be advocates, even if we don't have a tech background or anything.
Totally. It's about raising awareness, asking the hard questions, and demanding transparency.
That's a really good point. This isn't just about avoiding the bad stuff. It's also about making sure that the good stuff is shared fairly.
Exactly. We need to make sure AI helps create a more just and sustainable world, not one that just makes existing inequalities even worse.
That's a great point to wrap things up on. AI could be this incredible force for good, but only if we actively shape how it develops and make sure it reflects, our values as a society.
Yeah, it's a challenge for sure, but it's one worth taking on. The future of AI is being written right now,
Yeah.
and we all have a hand in it. So let's make it a future we can all be proud of.
Well, that's all the time we have for today's deep dive into the Stargate initiative. Hope you found it informative and thought-provoking, maybe even a little bit inspiring.
Yeah, and please keep this conversation going. Share your thoughts, stay engaged. The future of AI depends on all of us.
Huge thanks to all our listeners in Gotham City for tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe to Gotham Trends for more deep dives into the trends shaping our world. And as always, we'd love to hear your thoughts on today's episode. Leave a comment below and let us know what parts of the Stargate initiative worry you the most, or what possibilities you're excited about. Until next time.